Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fryar Place. I'm your host, Irving Fryar. Let me fix my headset. I'm your host, Irving Fryar. This is the place where the conversations are fire. We're going to have a great show today. We have he's back, but he's a great guest. He's been here before. I'll introduce him in a minute. First, as we always do, let me give my shout outs. Come on, camera, focus. Doggone it. Thank you. Y'all come on in the room. I don't see anybody. Oh, I see one person. Who are you? One person. Y'all come on in the room. Announce yourself. Let it be known that you are here. I want you to pay attention today. Today, again, we're taking it to another level. U.S. Housing Exchange and my man Mario Henry. But before that, shout out to Alicio Way for these dope overlays. Thank you, Alicio. I need you to come back and get back in the flow, Alicio. I know you're out doing your thing and you're rapping and traveling the world, being famous. And when I do see you, please don't act like you don't know me. But thank you for these overlays. Shout out to Lou Rogers. Hello, Sister Sally. Good afternoon to you as well. Shout out to Lou Rogers and Vision Audio Visual. Our introduction was done by Lou. Lou just finished setting up our website. We got the website, the front, and he just outdid himself this time. The website. We have obviously Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. We're all over the place now, the Fryar Place. So y'all check it out. Kiki, good to see you too. Thanks for being here today. You're going to want to hear this conversation today. Listen, one of our sponsors, we got to give a shout out to Wings and Things. Look at that. wingsandthings.com, or I should say wingsandthingsmountholly.com. Go to wingsandthingsmountholly.com. Check out the site. Then dial the number 609-288-6477, 609-288-6477. That's wingsandthingsmountholly.com. One of our other sponsors is none other than, I have my shirt on today. Let me show you this shirt. Y'all got to get this. This is pretty good. Let me get the right camera here. Top camera. Bam. There it is. Relentless Strength and Conditioning. Yep, there it is right there. Yeah. Y'all got to get it. Relentless Strength and Conditioning. Ask for Robert. If you want to get it right and keep it tight, you want to go to Relentless Strength and Conditioning and get your workout on. 1703 Industrial Highway, Unit 6, Cinnaminson, New Jersey, 08077. The number is 609-458-8584. Call the number, ask for Robert. Y'all, we got merch. PressandSew.com/TFP. That's the Fryar Place. Go to PressandSew.com/TFP and check out our merch, the Fryar Place t-shirts, the Fryar Place hats. We have t-shirts that say pause, pray, pursue t-shirts. We have t-shirts that say made to move forward. Yeah, t-shirts, hats, y'all check it out. It's all good. We're giving all of the benefits, or I should say the monies that we make, we're giving that to charity. So make sure you go to PressandSew, That's PRESS, the letter N, and SOW. Okay, and so.com TFP. We're right there. Right there. Thank you for your cooperation, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Mom, what's going on? Mario, my mom is on now, so you can't be cussing. Y'all, my friend is back in studio today. He was in town. It's amazing because, and God, look, the devil doesn't know what we think, but God knows. The Bible says God knows our thoughts from afar off. So I'm going to tell you what happened yesterday. So I was scheduled actually to have a wide receiver named Stephen Baker from the New York Giants. Yeah. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. He was scheduled to be with us on today. Akita, what's up? My brother, put him up there. What's up, man? What's up? He said, what's up? So I was scheduled to have Steven in here today. But then when I talked to Mario, we were texting back and forth yesterday in the morning time. And I was thinking to myself, dang, I should try to catch Mario and bring him back in here with all of the things that are going on right now with the U.S. Housing Exchange. He's got more to say and even more to do right now, more to present to the people. I should have him in studio since he's in town right now. But because I had Stephen Baker already planned to come on, I had him scheduled in. I said, no, I can't do that. Then that afternoon, I get a text message from Stephen Baker. I'm not going to be able to make it. I got a paid engagement that that just came up. I got to go take care of that. Can you reschedule me for next week? Yup. No problem. Thank you, Lord. The Lord knows our thoughts from afar off. So I text Mario. Mario, you're in town. How long you going to be in town for? I'll be here. You going to be in town tomorrow? Yeah, be here tomorrow. Can you come over tomorrow and be in the studio, be live? Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, none other than my friend, the CEO of the U.S. Housing Exchange. This man is on a mission. Let's welcome my friend Mario Henry to the show.
I'll tell you what, man, I didn't know what's all that going on, but I'm happy that we got a chance to connect now.
Well, yeah, I'm glad I didn't know you were coming back to town. The last I saw you were way out, and where were y'all at that convention?
We're in Pontiac, Michigan.
Michigan,
the largest wholesaler mortgage company in the United States. They do 100,000 loans a month.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Y'all were just out there rolling. You walking around like just a baller, big baller and a shot caller. Had his entourage walking around with him. Got cameras following you. You posted every 5 minutes with pictures and important people. I'm like, wow, he's got it going on out there. That's awesome, making your connections, man.
Absolutely. I got a chance to listen to Tony Robbins in person for 3 hours.
Wow. Now, Tony Robbins is big.
Oh, yeah.
Great motivational speaker. 3 hours of Tony Robbins?
Yes.
What did you get from that? What did you take from that?
A lot of the things, it was crazy because I was listening to a lot of the things that he talked about, which was a lot of the way my principles worked. That we spend so much time worrying about the problem instead of focusing on the solution. Wow. And then if there is a problem, you deal with the problem. You never seen an NFL game where a play did not work out, and you see everybody arguing about the play, about didn't work out, on whose fault it was and everything. Now you get in the huddle, you line up and you get into the next play.
Right.
But us in the world, we end up micromanaging every last play we did, and we can't go forward because we're too thinking about what's in our rearview mirror. So I really am trying to be in the moment. That was the one thing that I gathered. And then our energy that we take into something, we can't have that old energy like when we're about to be in a game, everything is infectious on us. That's how I'm taking my day-to-day basis.
Right.
I want to put that same energy like I'm getting ready to get in the game.
Wow. I guess we do. I mean, is it when we focus too much and we're too hard on ourselves? Is that because we are being too hard? Are we expecting too much of ourselves? I mean, it's okay to fail.
Yeah.
It's okay to fail. Sometimes people won't take on endeavors because they're afraid of failing. But failing is okay. I mean, we don't actually fail. What we do is we learn from the disappointment or from us not being able to actually achieve that particular goal. But is that something that we do? I mean, that we just maybe put too much pressure? I know sometimes I do. I drive myself crazy, just trying to be perfect all the time. And I never reach it, and I end up being disappointed in myself quite often.
We have to celebrate the small victories. I think a lot of times when we have something that happened, maybe something that we were praying for or something that we were trying to get done, and we might have got 80% of what we asked for. So we start focusing on the 20% of we didn't get instead of the 80% of what we received.
That's good.
So I think that, what I learned is to, you have to not just go day by day. You can't be playing checkers in the game of life. You got to be thinking about a few moves ahead.
Okay.
You got to be thinking about, a lot of the things, but then you also got to be, you can't be this thing that's insatiable and never can be able to celebrate any of your small wins, even if you didn't get the full victory. Even in a loss, you're going to learn something that you can garner. Then the next time you're in that obstacle, you're going to learn from what you lost. You only lose if you don't learn.
Right. Yeah, and you're stupid if you don't. I'm not going to say that.
You are. That's the right word.
I'm gonna say ignorant, because you have the information, but you ignore it. That's where ignorant comes from. You ignore it. So you're ignorant if you don't learn from your mistakes. What's up, G Wright? Thanks for being with us today. Let me put you up there. Thanks for coming on. You're gonna get some great information today. Listen, Mario, U.S. Housing Exchange. You guys are doing some big things. You kind of just separated yourself from other entities that you were attached to, and you're out there on your own, standing on your own 2 feet and doing your own thing and doing big things. So tell everybody, we're going to get into each one of the things, but tell everybody just in a general sense what the U.S. Housing Exchange is doing now that it wasn't doing the last time you were with us, which was in December 2021.
Well, before we were focusing on the renting population, the bad credit renting population that couldn't own a house, which is estimated to be about 47 million renters, and only about 30% of them want to rent. So we focused on finding properties that from motivated sellers that might need rehab, and that we wanted to match the two together. But what's happened since that time period, you have what you call institutional buyers, buyers like BlackRock and all these different Wall Street firms that aren't buying office buildings anymore. So they are really 100% focused on residential homes, because what they learned through COVID was that, okay, people can work from home. And as soon as they started to realize that the model of the brick and mortar and more people are going to start working in a traditional sense at home, they've stopped their their resources and going into there, and they're starting to go into residential properties. But why that's a problem is they're buying up so much. They've created an inventory shortage. BlackRock owns 70,000 houses in the United States.
And what are they doing? What are they doing with those houses? They're just renting them? Okay.
Yeah, they're renting it, but what they can borrow from the banks, you'll never be able to compete.
Right.
Because they're borrowing from the banks at maybe half a point more than what they can borrow from the feds. So they're paying less than 2% for that money. And then they're not paying compound interest like what we do on a 30-year cycle.
Right.
So that's the reason why if you're like, well, I got a 3% interest rate. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Add up all 360 months of those payments. There you go. And then now you'll see what your true interest rate is.
It's double. You pay for the house twice.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if you got to think about what you have to earn in your paycheck to make the mortgage payment, then you're about 2.5 times that. So that's the system of where you can't. And so then what these guys do is they say, you know what, we can pay cash for your property, and they're going to give you more than what you wanted. So that ensures they're going to get that deal. And then when they're raising the rent is up almost 64% in Jacksonville, all throughout the Florida,
New Jersey
Georgia,
too.
New Jersey's getting rough too, because what's happened in New Jersey, everybody they can't get any inventory down south to New Yorkers, so they're buying up from New York. They're going down to New Jersey where it's cheaper, and it's driving up the prices here.
Yep.
So then now people are saying, and they're happy about, wow, I got $50,000 more of equity in my house. But guess what's going to happen? In the next few months, you're going to get a new tax assessment, and then now your mortgage payment's going to increase because your taxes went up, and that's part of what your mortgage payment's going to be.
Right. Man, so again, this institutional buying by these large companies is happening, and it's minimizing the inventory for regular folk to purchase homes.
Yes.
So what's going to happen is we're going to have folk who are going to be homeless, And one of the things that you're focused on now, I mean, you're just driving towards this, is you want to stop homelessness.
Yes.
I mean, you just want to stop, and there's a particular area you want to stop it, a particular focus, veterans, but in general, you want to stop homelessness. Now, that's a big target. That's a big bullseye, man, and that's a bold statement. How you going to do that?
Well, the first step is you're going to eliminate both avenues. The first avenue off of what we talked about with the institutional buyers, we're creating our own social media platform. So that means if you think of Facebook, U.S. Housing Exchange will be its own Facebook. And what's going to happen is we're going to have our own inventory where we're going to start to talk to the realtors, mortgage loan originators, everything, because if there's no properties where people can buy, then guess what? You're not going to be able to make any commission in the future because there's going to be no property, because those guys, when they have that property, it's going to be a rental forever.
Wow.
As long as that company's in business, they're going to keep that because it's pure profit for them.
Right.
So when we create our platform, we got our social media platform, but we have our own properties section. And you're banned from institutional buyers, when you come into our platform. But on the flip end, we want to stop homelessness. We're starting with the vets. So what we're doing is we're creating an initiative to where we can't force the inventory in the country if there's no inventory. But what we can control is building new properties.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. So when we build the properties, we're going to be building. Our goal is to be able to, if we get 500,000 acres of development in this country, we'll end homelessness. From every single dynamic that there is, it will be 100% gone.
Say that again.
500,000 acres.
Wow.
And so we're going to be creating a platform through the U.S. Housing Exchange that's going to tie in to just our users being able to help with the development of the properties. Now, you can have no experience necessary, but on our social media platform, we're going to be teaching master classes on how to become an account executive, how to be able to buy properties along with us, so you could be able to be what we call a capital contributor, which means you can partner with us on deals. And then now it would translate of you making a lot of interest that you can't find anywhere, because you're going to be getting the upside of when we do a development deal.
Wow.
So 10% of all of the houses that we do will be dedicated to veterans transitional housing. Okay, that's going to be for the veterans that have their faculties. That mean that they can still work, they can still do all 2 of the 6 daily activities. They don't have mental issues. So we're going to focus on them first. Okay. Then when we build, like we're about to buy 39, a lot with 39 properties in Houston, which is 40. So those properties are going to be the first 40 clients, 40 vets is going to be identified. And then now we're going to do something called an NFT.
Yeah, I was going to go to that next.
Yes. Well, you can lead in.
No, you're going, bro. You got it. Just, Vanetta, what's going on? Akita said, let's go. Richard, I see you, bro. We're gonna give you guys a chance to ask some questions here a little bit later on, but I don't want to stop Mario while he's rolling. Go ahead, bro.
So you remember when we were playing and we had, football cards and, obviously those baseball cards back in the day. And so the biggest thing that I would always hear, especially when I came home, that, they should be creating cards for veterans. They're the true heroes.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I can take that. I mean, I'm catching a football over the middle, which is pretty dangerous, but I'm not in Afghanistan or anything like that. So I think that they probably do deserve their own card. But then, what can I do back then? So then when we came into where we're like, all right, let's create something that we can be able to identify, because when we think of homelessness, you think of the guy under the bridge and everything. You're thinking them in that condition on where they are now instead of who they were. So I said, you know what? Let's create something that's going to be something that represents this veteran. And let's create a series of cards for the homeless. And so we have our artists came out with the template. But then now what's going to happen, you're going to see a before picture of what they looked like when they were playing. When they were serving.
Right, when they're serving, yeah.
And then we're going to have a picture of what they look like now. And then on the back of the card, you'll see their favorite food, their favorite song, who's the most favorite person they ever met, famous person they ever met.
Their stats. You're going to have their stats.
Their stats.
Yeah.
What their rank was, everything that comes in, their favorite quote, and how long have they been homeless and what was the cause. So instead of you just thinking of just homelessness, we're going to look at Sergeant Jones and we're going to say, you know what? This is Sergeant Jones. He needs help. So then now we're going to create 1,000 digital cards that can actually be purchased for $300 US. And what you're going to receive is the card, but then it's also going to have USHX crypto paired with that card. So then now when you buy it, you didn't just donate the money, you have something of value.
Yes.
So then now is if our token or when our token starts to increase in value and you paid $300 for that digital art, it could be worth $33,000. It could be worth $30,000. It could be worth, if you bought $300 worth of Bitcoin back in 2007, it probably would be worth probably in the millions on $300.
Yeah.
You see, if you had invested $1,000, you'd have about 300 million today.
Wow.
So that is what we're talking about, is you get an asset, you get something that could potentially go up in value. And then guess what? The proceeds of what we get from this is going to house that veteran for the whole entire year. It's going to give them a way that they can have a hand up instead of the hand out, because we're going to provide a certification for them to do something with that 12 months that they're there. So then they can sustain themselves, instead of them being in receivership mode, they can actually get to be a productive member of society.
Yeah. So everybody wins with that. You know, I'm not just purchasing a card. Like we had bubblegum cards. Purchase the bubblegum card and you just have the card. There's crypto attached to that card, and that crypto, just like the card, will continue to increase as the value of crypto increases, which is awesome. And at the same time, we're helping stop homelessness with veterans. We're building these houses where you're going to house eight veterans at a time in these homes, and then you're also providing them with skills, you know, teaching them some type of skill so that when they're coming out after a year being in the house, they have some skill that they can use and go out and sustain themselves. That's just awesome, man. That's awesome. And that's how you're going to end homelessness, starting with the veterans. It's a shame, like you said earlier in our conversation, it's a shame that we live in the United States of America and we have veterans who have served for us, taking care of this country, but yet and still they don't have the means that they need to sustain themselves. We live in a country that's supposed to be the richest country in the world. I mean, even right here at Fort Dix, we have families, 125 families in Fort Dix, and these are active military families who are under the poverty level. They're at the poverty level and they need help. And these are active military families. So we're doing something wrong, but obviously you're doing something right in helping and to sustain, or actually get them back on their feet and sustain our military. Yes. And these houses that you're building, man, there's some material that you're using that's called thermosteel.
Yeah.
Thermosteel. I was watching the video, man. Talk about that thermosteel. This is like, these houses are going to last forever.
Well, I was a fan of Lincoln Logs back in the day. You know what I mean? Lincoln Logs and Legos and everything. So when you look at everything that's happening, is we're 5 million houses upside down on what needs to be built in the United States.
Wow.
And so then now we're in talks with UWN, United Wholesale Mortgage, to be a partner. It's not official yet, but to be a partner, because they want to be able to sustain and get more loans. And so if we can get into a situation to where they're winning, you're winning, because you got access to now properties. And then we also create the private platform. Now the thermosteel relationship is cool, because here's a product that's been around since 1970. I never heard of it before.
Right. I never heard it either.
Yeah, but since 1970, DuPont actually invented the substance.
Wow.
So it's a composite that's interwoven with steel that gets into panels. And the panels come on the site. You have your house, you have your blueprint, you send it to their factory. And then what they do is they send everything down to where it's perfect. It's a perfect interlock panel. And then a house can actually get framed in 24 hours.
Right.
Your whole frame, your roof frame, your subfloor frame. So then now all you got to do is to sheetrock, put in all your HVAC, electric, plumbing, everything else, and then now you're finishing a house like like normal. But now you can be able to rehab. The time it would take to rehab a house and the time that it would take to build a house can be along the same frame.
Wow.
So then now with ThermoSteel, it is water resistant, wind resistant, fire resistant,
pest
and
resistant,
mold resistant,
and pest resistant,
because it's not wood.
Right.
And so then now, and then it's not gonna ever break down on you, because over time wood rots and everything like that. These things will go 500, 1,000 plus years because of the material that it's made from.
Wow. And they've been using it not here in the United States, but overseas for years.
Yes.
It just sounds fishy to me. Sounds like something's wrong with that if it's being used and it's that effective, and it is. I mean, I watched the video. It's awesome. I need to put me up so you can see me. It's awesome. And the panels that come in, they're regular size, normal panels that you would normally have to use a crane to bring in. And those panels are like 40 pounds a piece. There was a woman who was working on one of the panels. Then she's carrying the panel around. But it's just 10 times stronger and lasts many times longer than regular building, stick building, or even these modular homes that they're building.
Yeah, and they officially gave U.S. Housing Exchange a distribution agreement that would allow us to be able to use this material all over the United States. So when we're getting the NFTs, obviously we're going to house the vets, we're going to clothe them, we're going to give them makeovers, they're going to get food, 3 times a day, they're going to get their entertainment, they're going to get their certifications, teaching, and then when they're successful, we're going to get them a car, the down payment for the apartment, and we're also going to set aside their closing costs. So then in the 2 years that they get into working, they're going to own a house. So we're going to have them go from homelessness to a success story.
Nice.
And we want to be able to follow the veterans with the kids aging out of foster care. We want to help with the transitional population for the ex-felons. We want to help the sex traffic survivors and the battered women.
Nice.
So we think that we could rid homelessness in this country with about 500,000 acres. So it's going to be something to where the user base of the U.S. Housing Exchange, because we got something called the Founders Club, which is going to be the first 10,000 people who want to be able to come aboard. And then to come in, you pay $100 a month, which gives you $100 worth of our crypto per month.
Right.
And then you're going to get a lot of perks. You're going to get a lot of perks that's going to come with it, where you're going to be able to earn more rewards on the site. You're going to be able to use a lot of your crypto to be able to get, like when you're in the airlines and you get a certain amount of points, you could be able to get certain things. We're going to have like for example, we have a cruise package that a typical cruise might cost you for 2. It might cost you $4,000 or $5,000 easy.
Right.
Our package, 1,000 USHX. You're going to be able to get a cruise for 2 as one of our sponsors. So we're going to have a lot of perks through the activities. If you get a certain amount of likes, if you share, if you do a lot of things like that, we're going to have it. So we want to get that user base there.
Okay. So how does someone become a member of the Founders Club?
Well, I'm sure you're going to send your link.
Yeah.
You're going to send your link to everybody because you're a member.
I'm a member of the Founders Club. Just explain it to them, but I'm going to put the link when this video posts. It will be in the link. The link will be in this post.
It'll be the first comment. So you can be able to have it. And then now when you click on that link, you pay your $100. That's going to give you a reservation. When we're live, the website should be up at the end of next week, but with tech, I always add about an extra 2 weeks on it. So we're opening up our veteran NFT for our first property that we have down in Houston. It doesn't have to be built. It's on the golf course.
Wow.
And we may sell it before then, but our aim is to be able to get our first 8 vets, and we could start raising the NFTs, and then we got the house for them to be in. So that is the model. And then when we have veterans that maybe they have some mental issues or they have some disabilities, we're also going to have our assisted living. So then we'll have a percentage of our houses for transitional housing, a certain percentage of our houses for assisted living.
Man, you're doing a lot of stuff, man. You got a lot going on. And I mean, what started this for you? Because I know you.
Yeah.
I just want the people, when people are listening to this and they're hearing what's going on, we can be, as people, skeptical.
Yeah.
We can be like, okay, yeah, right. Well, that's not true. But I want everybody to know this man, Mario Henry, he is my friend, but he cares about people. He really does care. He has a heart for people. And that's his motivation in all of this. When you hear his voice and how he's talking about these homeless vets, that it genuinely bothers him that people are living that way. There was a story that you were telling Todd about when you went to LA and you saw people outside the stadium. Tell everybody that story.
Well, that really bothers me if people can't at least have shelter. When you look at days in Houston where it's 100 degrees and I'm just seeing people under the overpass, I try to give a few dollars when I'm at those stoplights, but I'm like, really, what is that really doing? And I know there's people out there that's being disingenuous, but I can't focus off of somebody who's going to do something. They're going to get that karma for pretending that they're homeless or pretending that they're there. They're going to one day be that way that they're trying to pretend. But that one person that you see there and you see them and then you see them with their fatigues and it makes me sick to my stomach. So when I went out to LA, man, there was nothing but tents along the road. And I was like, what in the world is going on here? And in there you start seeing the homeless not even restricted to veterans. You're seeing millennials that have to make a choice of eating or where they're going to live. So they have these tents. They get a gym membership someplace. The gym membership costs them $100 a month. They shower. That's why you always see more homeless right by the gym.
Right by the gym.
So then they have their locker. They have their clothes there. They do what they got to do. Then they go into the tent, sleep, pack the tent up, and go. Wow. And so to me, when you look at what the statistics are of the veterans, with 22 of them committing suicide on a day-to-day basis, you got to be like, what can we do? Now, the PTSD and what they actually are facing, I can't help with that particular part. But if we could be able to make sure that we dignify the veterans, and you don't do that just for standing for the anthem. You don't do that for just saying thank you for your service. What have you done that's going to help get these guys to a point to where they could be productive members of society? So that's what we can do to really thank them for their service.
Wow. Can't buy groceries with a pat on the back.
You can't.
Can't buy groceries. Richard says, listen, Richard's got a question. Richard says, given my age, I'm looking for a quick turnaround, 2 to 3 years tops, in any investment I make versus 5 to 7 years. What would you say to me?
I would say become part of the Founders Club. Find out how you can be part of some of the land deals that we're actually going to do. And we have what we call an account executive program. We cannot develop 500,000 acres ourselves, even though sometimes my mind comes out with some things where I can try to be a superhero.
We can do it, Mario. We can do it.
Yeah,
we can do it.
We have to create the program to create a system that's going to be like McDonald's. And then the people like Richard, who wants to have something that he can get into, we can have a program that you can graduate from being just on a deal and making, a ridiculous interest rate that we would give back to you,
right,
for your participation on the joint venture, or at least your LLC, because we don't do business with individuals. We only do business with companies, and a lot of securities reasons for that. But to answer your question is you could become eligible to be one of our account executives. Our account executive, you can make 5% of the gross profit, or the net profit, when we do a development. So the one that we're doing in Houston should make us about $4 million. And that's in developer profit. So if you were there, you would be the one getting $200,000, and it's not a full-time job. So then what we do is, if we develop probably about 5 to 10, if we do 10,000 people in our Founders Club, I said we need 500,000 acres to end homelessness. So that would mean every single last member of our Founders Club would be responsible for developing close to 500 acres. 500 acres is roughly about 700 houses. that would make about $80 million. So if you get 5% of 80 million throughout where it would be, that's about a $4 million. And if our goal is 5 years to end homelessness, even if we made it in 10, then from that point, not to mention the crypto that you would own, because our whole mission is to end homelessness. So if we're successful, where do you think the dollar value of that crypto went to? It's going to go crazy. So then now we work on something, and even if you're not a real estate guy, we're going to teach you what to do, because on our website, we're not going to have a lot of foolishness. And I subscribe to some of that foolishness on Facebook, arguing about dumb stuff, who is better, this, that, the next, and who is my starting this? I get into that.
You do it sometimes.
Oh yeah. I can only call Trump a bum in so many different ways, but I feed into that sometimes. But imagine you being in a social media platform where like-minded, financially minded people can actually be together. If you're trying to buy, sell, flip, invest into crypto, and then you could get master classes presented that you could use your USHX that you're earning on the platform to attend master classes. I'm hoping to have Tony Robbins be able to talk at some point in one of our master classes, because collectively we're going to have a nice budget to keep bringing more speakers in. Irvin will be doing some of the we want to have a motivational Monday. Every Monday morning that you're about to go in, we want to have a different motivational message.
Nice.
Because we want to set that tone, because our mindset is everything. And the networks that you can develop, your net worth is all about your network. That's a Tony Robbins thing. That's a Tony Robbins thing. Your net worth is surrounded by your network.
Well, you know what? My net worth is good and will be better. Will get better because I got a good network, because you're in my network. Hey. Listen. I just want to give this comment here from Vanetta. Vanetta says, "This is great. I volunteer at Havens Women." I told you about Haven South, where I was, through the VA, which provides transitional housing and supports for women. Yeah, it's our military needs it. Our military. Now, let me say this, or have you explain this, Mario, because you talked about crypto and the crypto that's connected to the NFT.
Yeah.
But there's another crypto that's the USHX crypto. So there's two different cryptos. I got 4 fingers up. There's 2 different cryptos that you're providing, or you're offering for everyone. So can you explain? Obviously, the NFT is connected to the crypto is connected to the NFT. That stays together. So whatever that NFT goes, whatever that NFT does, as that crypto increases, the NFT value increases. But if you were to get rid of the NFT, which is the picture of the vet, okay, one of those 1,000 pictures of the vet, that crypto goes with that NFT. So the NFT maintains the value. Now, you still have the value of the crypto, but it carries itself with the NFT. You can use it, but you got to have the NFT to be able to use it. You have to possess the NFT to be able to use the value of that crypto. But there's another crypto that you're offering, which is attached to the USHX, the U.S. Housing Exchange.
You said it perfect. I almost don't need to say anything.
Well, no. But you need to tell people how they can get that crypto, how they earn that crypto.
When our site is live at the end of next week, what's going to happen is you're going to have the regular crypto that you could buy on the exchange. We're going to also develop a short-term housing similar to Airbnb, where you would be able to use your regular USHX to be able to stay in properties anywhere in the world, as we're getting more people that's going to come in on the platform. So on the regular site, you can be able to get our crypto, and you could be able to trade. You're going to be able to stake on different real estate projects. So let's say we're doing a deal, and then we're doing a land deal, and then let's say you're like, we're going to have reserve a certain amount of spaces on it, but you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to buy some of the crypto. And then when you put it on you stake it, which means almost like you're putting chips, like if you're on the roulette table and you put something on 14, it's something similar. So
bad analogy. Yeah. We're not gambling here.
Oh, you're not gambling, but I'm saying
bad analogy.
I'm saying that you're putting the stuff on there.
Use another analogy.
I would say that anything that you could say, I'm reserving something. I remember back in the day at the arcade, when you were playing Pac-Man or something like that. Whoever had next would put a quarter.
There you go.
Right there.
Go. That's okay.
So that hold that spot.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
Exactly. So you're putting some money and you putting it on that real estate deal. Now, when that real estate deal is done and everybody's cashed out, let's say it takes 9-10 months, you would be getting 30% of the tokens back, but you got it at the valuation of when you came in. So then now I'll give you an example. Let's say one of our tokens, which is actually accurate. I mean, if you got $100 worth of our tokens, it's 1,000,000 tokens. Okay. Now let's say, because we're at 10,000th of a dollar, which is less than a penny. I mean, if we got to a penny, I'd be celebrating, but 10,000th of a dollar, we would be there. So I think that comes out to be about 100th of a penny or 1,000th of a penny. I'm not sure. But in this example, let's say as more people came on our platform, it's now worth 1,000th of a dollar instead of 10,000th of a dollar. So we're giving you back on the valuation of 10,000th of a dollar. But in the 9 months that occurred, the value is worth more. And then now you got 30% more of those tokens, which in this example, if you put in 10,000 tokens, that's 10 million tokens. $10,000 bought you 10 million tokens.
Right.
Then what would happen is when you got back the money, you got back 3,000 tokens.
Okay.
But then now if the valuation went, then now the money that you receive was worth $30,000 more because it moved a decimal point over.
Right.
So then now you could go to where everybody's doing all that trading, and then you could cash in that 30,000 that you did, but you only put 10,000 up. That's how staking works. That's what you'll be able to do with the USHX. You'll be able to look at projects, what we're doing, all on our website. And then you'll be able to try to stake where you're going to want to be able to get more of your stuff.
Yep.
All right. That's how that whole thing will be. That way, as more tokens get out of the ecosystem that's there, then that means our demand gets higher because we're taking them out. We're doing the reverse of what inflation does.
Wow. You're going against the system, man. You're going to get some pushback from some people. You think?
Well, we're decentralizing real estate.
Yeah,
So,
I don't mean people that are, normal people. I'm talking about these people who are doing the institutional buying and people like that.
I hope so.
You're going to get some pushback from them.
Yeah, I hope
people
so.
like that.
Good.
But man, that's absolutely wonderful. Richard says, I'm here in Houston and there's plenty of land and farmers ready to sell here.
Well, I'm in Houston too, and our project that we're doing is right between Pearland and the medical center. And in Houston, we have the largest medical center in the world. So we're having enough land to do 39 units that's there. So if Richard's in Houston and he's talking about that farmland and everything, that's going to be like what the AE does. Find more land.
Right.
You know, through our realtor network that we hope that's going to be on our exchange. And as far as people like Richard, we're going to keep finding more land and we're going to keep doing the NFTs, which is creating a circular system.
Okay.
You see, because the federal government, I don't care what party you're in, they failed because you shouldn't have this many vets homeless. And I don't mind sending money to Ukraine and any of these other countries. But when we have people drinking bad water in Flint, all these veterans homeless, you have no successful rehabilitation program for felons that come out the system. It's a failed system that we're in that we privately can be able to take care of because the government has failed.
That's a whole nother big major problem. The transitioning of felons or those who have been incarcerated, their transition, which I know about, from prison or jail into society. And that's another issue that the system has not dealt with and continues to fail to deal with. And there's a major, major problem there. And there's homelessness because of that, joblessness because of that. People who are ending up and the recidivism rate is continuing to go up because they're doing things that cause them to have to go back to prison because their hands are tied, they're restricted, and they're limited in what they got to do. And they got to eat, they got to live, they got to try to do something to make a living for themselves, and they end up committing another crime and going back. But that's because a lot of the problem is the system. We do hard time when we're in prison, then we come out of prison and do soft time for the rest of our life.
Dang.
That's I mean, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
We do hard time when you're in, because there's nothing you can do. You're behind bars. Okay, doing hard time. But when I supposedly paid my debt to society, but I'm out now, but I'm still paying for it. Still paying for it. So it's a problem that the system has created, that the system needs to be reversed and done something about. How can this is not Richard asking this question. How can Richard get involved? Can he get involved in the project you're doing down in Houston, or does he?
We have a few. What we did was we kept about $250,000. We kept because we have the financing for the project already, but we want to be able to let a lot of people eat on the project. So LLCs can be able to come in. I think we have about 180,000 already pledged. So we're going to get to 250 and then we got to cut it off. I have one lady want to come in with 50. And I told her, I says, I need to hold off because I got to get as many people because to get our hedge fund involved, for you to be able to get your own financing, you have to be part of a deal to show that you had experience, or you're not going to be able to use any of the money. And this project is $7 million. So you have to be able to use a hedge fund or somebody willing to be able to give you the financing, and you would have to put up a lot more. So we get people, we give away a certain percentage of our profit. We're probably going to give away about $1 million of profit.
Wow.
So people can have interest, because if we need to do 500,000, I could either try to make it all and then I got to do it all, or I can be able to say, all right, I'm going to give away 30% interest, something ridiculous like that, and then know that I got people in, and then those people could be part of the consortium, and then those people can actually come along with us and get trained. And then where we're going to get our success is when somebody like Richard can man his own project of, let's say, 15, 20 acres. And then he made a lot of money, but we're expanding our footprint. So that would be the same for anyone.
So the website's not up yet. Let me put some of these comments up. And Akita is on board with this. Akita's all over this.
He's one of our founders. He's one of the founders.
Yep. He was out there in Michigan with you. Yeah, he was balling too. I saw him.
He was responsible for the thermosteel. His relationship, he had somebody who he knew. He brought that in because he's into entertainment, fashion, a lot of other different. I could do a whole show about this, brother.
He's always sharp. I gotta have him on the show, man. Akita, I gotta get you on the show, man. I'm gonna get your number from Mario, and we're gonna have you on the show because you're awesome, bro. I'm checking your posts out. And you always you always got something profound to say. Oh yeah. And you're always right on point with that profoundness. So, bro, I would love to have you on the show if you don't mind. But Akita says USHX is building a 39-unit apartment or 39 units apartments in Houston, Texas.
Well, they'll be townhouses. So
townhouses, okay. Yeah. All right. Same thing, spelled different. Richard says, "Oh wow, I'm almost down the street from Pearland." In Manville?
Yeah, it's going to be around that area. I would say request me on Facebook and just inbox me. Irvin's going to be part of the corporate team as well. So it's going to be something to where we're going to be looking for land here in Jersey. We're looking for land in Georgia, where we have a lot of people. We have a lot of people associated with us in Georgia, and then obviously Texas. So, if UWM comes aboard, that's United Wholesale Mortgage, they even are asking about what it would cost to be able to have their own thermosteel factory, which would give our panels a lower cost. But we're even talking about creating something called the metaverse, which is like a virtual reality world. And within the metaverse,
you get ready to get them confused now, bro. You're ready to confuse some folk now. But you explain this to me. Go ahead. This is some good stuff.
So now, when you look at one of our properties that we're going to put under development, you think about, well, I want to see the property. Imagine being able to put on your virtual glasses or your whatever that thing that you put on your head. I don't know what that's called, but whatever you put on so you could be in virtual reality, you'll be able to walk through our houses virtually, and you'll even be able to, instead of you having to go to Home Depot and put the little paint against the wall to see what it looks like, you can touch the wall virtually and see all the different colors that what the paint would look like. So you could choose your paint, you could tap the floor, you could look at all the floors that come in with the house. You'll be able to see messages when, you know, somebody like a UWM that is the largest wholesale company in the country. They don't advertise to the public. They advertise to loan officers. But then now imagine you could be able to come in, and then if your loan officer was just trying to make more money because they can go to someone else where they can make more money, you could hear directly from that wholesale lender and say, well, you know, if you come here, you won't pay for your appraisal. We'll reimburse you the cost of that $600-700 appraisal.
Wow.
And then you'll be like, wow, why are we using them?
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
So Star Trek stuff we talking about.
More past Star Trek. Star Trek was, look, beam me up, Scotty.
Shoot. Hey, that's when you up.
Listen, you want people to go to your Facebook page.
If they go to U.S. Housing Exchange Founders Group,
right,
Facebook. And then if you end up requesting to join, you could be part and watch the AMAs that we have. AMA stands for Ask Me Anything. So we do those twice a month. We just did one last night. And then what's going to happen is once we launch, the AMAs will be right on our website. So ushousingexchange.com, you could see what it looks like now. That's going to be the site, but that's not the it's not the social media site yet. By the end of next week, we'll be up. And then now what's going to happen, you know, when you're one of those 10,000 people, I can't ever guarantee that everybody will be millionaires, but I'll say that you got a very, very good chance of being one because you will be one of our account executives. Now, once we're in, that's not the time when everything's all successful. That's not the time to say, I want to be account executive, because you won't be able to. Once we're in, we're locking it up.
Once you get to 10,000.
Once we get to 10,000, but even if we get into 1,000, and then all of a sudden we get on Dr. Phil or something like that, because my publicist has the same gatekeeper of the actual Dr. Phil show. So if Dr. Phil ever did a show on veteran homelessness and we are a possible solution to that, he gets 10 million viewers. What do you think is going to happen to not only our NFT sales, what do you think is going to happen to our social media? So then at that point, you already know where something is, so the opportunity is different.
Right.
Can't wait. You can't wait.
You can't wait because you never know when that opportunity is going to come. And when that opportunity comes, everything's going to change. Everything's going to go through the roof. And this is something that when people hear about it, all it takes is one person, y'all. The right person gets a hold of this, what Mario's doing, what the U.S. Housing Exchange is doing with these NFTs, with crypto. One person, the right person gets a hold to this, it's going to go through the roof. So, yeah, you don't want to wait. You don't want to hesitate. $100 a month is not a lot of money. Well, it is if you don't have $100 a month. But when you think about the results that could take place, I mean, you never will if you don't, right? Yeah, you never will if you don't. If you don't swing the bat, you can't hit the ball. You can't. If you don't throw the ball, you can't catch it. So you have to do something in order for something to happen. A lot of us want something to happen in our lives, but we want to sit around and do nothing and then expect something to happen. No, you have to do something for something to happen, because you reap what you sow. If you don't put anything into it, you won't get anything out of it. And I know I'm preaching right now, but that's okay. That's what people need to hear. We can be too cautious. We can be not cautious enough, but I know this man. I'm not going to bring him on my show and jeopardize my reputation any more than my reputation's already been jeopardized by my imprisonment. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Akita said, let me put this up here. The Jetsons is here. Augmentation and virtual reality is dope. I got to put Vinny up here. Vinny said, hey, Vinny Capriati.
Hey, he can make me a cheesesteak, man. Come on down, man.
I don't think he's not in Mount Holly yet. He's over at you gotta go with Tom's Brewery.
Man, he just gotta tell me when he's here.
When he's here? Are you gonna be
I'm here till Wednesday.
Oh, you're here till Wednesday? Yeah. So he'll be in town Sunday. That's right. When he's over there Sunday.
Good, because I want to check out the place.
Okay, that's
I've been promoting it on my page, so I gotta at least get a sandwich.
All right. Free sandwich.
All right, that's all I'm asking. It's a free. I just want to. It feels good to get that free $8 to $10, $15, whatever it is.
Hey,
you know,
Vinny, can he get a free sandwich? Come on, put it up in the comments.
Say half off. That doggone Vinny, man.
So again, you want people to go, and this is what we want to blow up the Facebook page, U.S. Housing Exchange Founders Club. That's what you want to look for.
Founders Group.
Yeah. Founders Group. Search U.S. Housing Exchange Founders Group on Facebook. Go ahead and like it so you can get the notifications, because these classes that are taking place, is it every Tuesday and Thursday?
Yes.
They can view them from the Facebook page?
Well, not from the Facebook page. It will be a Zoom. But then, until the site is up. Once the site is up, everything will be on our site. But
how can they get the Zoom?
Well, once they're a member, Todd is the administrator on the site, so he puts an invite to every single person that's part of the Founders Club. You'll get the invite, so when you could get the up-to-date news. What we do is every Tuesdays is new information, every Thursdays is an overview of the company, so then you could be able to see it. And then now what's going to happen? This is the way we have to be able to affect change. I don't know how Marcus Garvey organized all those people to be able to try to get to Africa. But we have social media now, so we can be able to make the message more tighter, united, off of where something's going to be. And there is no good guy. The government, there is no good guy. It's not about, hey, this is my guy. Everybody's failing. So this is something that we are doing collectively as people, black people, white people, fat people, skinny people, Democrat, gay, straight, whatever. It doesn't matter. This isn't going to, because if you homeless, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, you homeless.
Right. It doesn't make a difference.
So our own, our own survival is going to be based upon creating a service that our properties aren't on Zillow. They're not on Redfin, Realtor.com, the NMLS. We want to privatize it to put it on our platform. And then from now, we're banning the institutional buyers. So you starve them. That's what you do. You starve them.
Right.
And if they don't like it, tough luck. If that's capitalism. So if they want to play the capitalism game and say, you know what, we got more money than you. But guess what? Collectively, they won't be able to have enough to be able to be bigger than U.S. Housing Exchange for us to buy all that land. And then because of that, you're going to have farmers saying, you know what? I'm not going to sell to any of those big companies. U.S. Housing Exchange is creating home ownership for veterans and everyone, because everyone doesn't have access to the new construction. And here in Jersey, on our property in Berlin, that we're going to be selling. It's a house and it has a duplex attached to it. We expect to be $30,000, $40,000 over asking price, but we will not accept an institutional buyer offer if it was $100,000 over asking price, because they're the contributors to what the problem's going to be, and they're going to be able to make it to where people will. You know who's going to be the landlord? Wall Street is going to be America's landlord, and the American dream is only going to be able to be rented, not owned.
If it keeps going in the direction that it's going, where all these big industries are buying up all these properties and renting them to the general public, that's what's going to happen. Is that Wall Street's going to own all the real estate, or at least the majority of the real estate, and they're going to be the landlord, which that's not. I wouldn't think that would be a good place to be. Yeah, that's frightening. It wouldn't be a good place to be in. Here, we're done. It's 1:00, but here's what I want to say about the U.S. Housing Exchange, and this is what I love about Mario. He keeps opening the door, continues to open the door for people like myself and yourself to have the opportunity to participate in a program like this, where we're actually doing something positive, and not just doing something positive for people, but we're doing it in a major way where we can make effect and bring change globally. Not just even in the United States, but globally, as this thing pans out. When we look and I see all these people being killed, kids going in schools and shooting these little kids, and I mean, it's been happening. It continues to grow and happen at a greater rate. I sit back myself, and we all say something's got to be done. We say to ourselves, something's got to be done, but we see that nothing's being done. Yes. Protests are fine, and yes, people coming together and voicing their opinions, but without legislation, without things being changed in the legislature, nothing is going to change. These gun laws, I believe we had somebody up here running for an office, and his publicity about himself was the fact that he was a military man and he supports guns. Everybody, fighting that for that amendment that you can defend yourself. And then his mom comes on and says, I'm the best shot in the family. Well, I mean, nothing's going to nothing's changing about that. So you kind of feel hopeless when it comes to making change about all of these incidents that are happening with people getting killed, where folk go in a school, where folk go in a bank, where people go in different places and just start opening up fire and killing people. This here is an opportunity to fight homelessness, where you can actually do something. Yes, we have a problem in this country with homelessness. We shouldn't have as many people who are homeless as we do, but we do. But this is an opportunity, unlike some of these other incidents or some of these other areas in our society. This is an area where you can actually do something. You can become a part of this group. You can become a part of the crypto and become a part of growing this project where we're going to end homelessness. And you may be a little part, but you can be a part of it by what you do, by joining this group, by participating in what they're doing and becoming a partner and being one of those people who provides shelter for someone who does not have shelter. So that's just my little thought at the end of this, because there have been opportunities or there have been situations where I felt hopeless, particularly in these times when you see people being shot and these kids, these babies that were shot down in Texas. It just hurts my heart. And I feel like I can't do anything. I can pray. Yes, I can pray. But I can't do anything, because unless legislature does something about it, nothing's going to change. But in this instance, I can do something. I can be a part of that. So, Mario, thank you, man. This is something that we're going to continue to do. You're always going to be a part of the Fryar Place, because the Fryar Place is always going to be a part of the U.S. Housing Exchange. Yeah. So as things continue to multiply, things continue to grow with the U.S. Housing Exchange and these NFTs, we're going to have you back from time to time to keep people abreast of what's going on. And prayerfully, the next time we have Mario on, we can say, guess what? We blown up.
Yes.
And you missed it. Hopefully you don't miss it.
It's going to be two stories: the ones who took advantage of an opportunity, and the ones that stopped and waited. So then you're going to be able to tell one or two stories. I was there, or I lunched.
Yeah,
that's the only two that can be told.
And you know what, y'all? Mario talked about Bitcoin a little bit earlier. I had not numerous, but I had plenty of people come to me, get some Bitcoin, get Bitcoin. And I was one of those folks, I don't even know what that is. But no. Just overly cautious. And guess what? I missed it. And I had an opportunity to be well off right now because of Bitcoin. I'm not missing this boat.
$1,000 of Bitcoin back in 2007, you would have $300 million today.
How much? $1,000?
$1,000 back in 2007, you would have $300 million, and that's where it fell. You could have had up to $600 million when it was at the highest point of where it was. So, opportunities are never lost; they just go to someone else.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So don't miss the opportunity. Vinny says Sunday. That's what Vinny says, Sunday.
I'll be around.
Come Sunday. Vanetta says this was hot. Richard says, thanks, Mario, for being here on the Fryar Place today. I'm supposed to say that, Richard. This ain't your show. This is my show.
Oh, boy.
Akita said, let's go. Love to come on. Yeah, we're going to have you on, Akita. Have you on and let people know what you're doing, man. I like your style. I just like it. And you're the kind of guy who wears the different kinds of cologne that people can't find. You're that kind of guy, man.
Oh, my God, that's him.
Is it him?
Oh, my God.
Is it him? Yeah, he just seems like he's that kind of guy that wears those kind of colognes you can't find anywhere. I'm like, where'd you get that from? You don't know about it. I never met him before, but you just seem like that cat, man. You're a special dude. And I mean that in a positive way.
And I also want to introduce you to Matt, the guy who's the CEO of United Wholesale Mortgage. Because that guy's a baller. He was a backup point guard for the Michigan State team that won the national championship.
Wow.
So he's a guy, billionaire, but he's a down-to-earth guy that really gets motivated to be number one.
Wow.
I'd love for you to meet him.
Well, where is he? Because I got another seat. I got another seat over there. I can bring him in, and we can put him. He's in Michigan?
That's the CEO of United Wholesale Mortgage.
Boy, I could love to have him in the Fryar Place, man. I could bring him in and put him in that seat right over there, and we could have 3 of us in here.
I don't know if he's flying from Michigan, but I definitely think you can get him from where he's at.
All right, we're out of here, y'all. It's 106.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate being here, and thank you, Irvin, so much for having me here. I enjoyed it.
And Mario said if you want to reach him, you can DM, or is it DM? Yeah. What's that? Inboxing? What do you call that stuff?
Inboxing. You can inbox me. A friend request me on Facebook.
Okay, gotcha.
But if you're part of the group, you'll be able to see me all the time.
All the time. That's my dude,
all right.
Mario Henry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. All right. Listen, y'all, don't miss this opportunity. It's a great opportunity. Thank Mario for being on with us today. Always a great conversation, always very informative. Sometimes he's one of the smartest cats I've ever met in my life. He's always on the move, always coming up with fresh and new ideas, initiatives to be able to continue to move forward. And he always calls me and gets me involved, which is awesome. I appreciate him for that. But this is the train that you don't want to miss. U.S. housing exchange. We're going to end, and I'm going to say we, because I'm going to be a part of it. We are going to end homelessness. That's a big target to shoot at, but it's not impossible. Because we can do it with numbers, we can come together, we can get this thing done with great numbers. We can challenge some of these big companies who are buying up all these residential properties and renting them out and causing residential inventory to diminish. We can stop that. And we can do that by building as well. So great show. Thank you for being with us today. Richard and Akita, thanks for being around, Akita. Thank you, Vinny, for being around. Vanetta, God bless you. She says it's hot. Michelle, what's going on? You must have just came in. Good to see you. Thanks for joining today. Oh, he said, Old Mystery is dope, y'all. That must be this Akita. It must be some of his cologne he talking about. Is that some of your cologne, man? He said, Old Mystery is dope, y'all. That must be some of that cologne you have. Again, Sister Sally, Kiki, thank you. Mom, you didn't say anything, Mom. You want to say something to Mario before he goes? I can put it up on the screen. He'll be able to see it before we get up out of here. And you know what? I'm not going to get out of here today. Well, let me do my shout outs first, and I'm going to do something a little bit different. But shout out to Alicia Way. Thank you for these dope overlays. Shout out to Lou Rogers and Vision Audio Visual for our introduction and any video that we have. When I have guests on who are former athletes, I usually have some kind of film on them, and Lou puts that together. So thank you, Lou. When that happens, we'll probably have one for Stephen Baker next week. Shout out. There it is. Wings and Things coming across the screen. I got to get that to go faster. Wings and Things, MountHolly.com. But it only goes across once, so you better catch it. Wings and Things, MountHolly.com, 609-288-6477. 609-288-6477. Relentless. Don't forget, Relentless Strength and Conditioning. That's another one of our sponsors. Let me throw him up there. There he is. 703 Industrial Highway. If you want to get it tight and keep it right, yeah, Cinnamon, New Jersey, 08077. Ask for Robert, 609-458-8584. And y'all, we do have merch here at the Fryar Place. Go to pressandsew.com/TFP. Pressandsew.com/TFP. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. We normally go out with the Fryar Place theme song. But I got an appointment tomorrow, and I'm working on this purple and gold, y'all. You know my studio is purple and gold. You know that's my favorite color, purple. And I'm in the fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I got my mics. You know, I got a purple mic over here, and I got a yellow mic over here, a gold mic over here. So I keep my stuff purple and gold. Even my shirt from Relentless Strength and Conditioning is purple and gold. See that? Purple and gold. So because of that, y'all, I'm gonna go out like this in honor of my brothers today. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Mario don't have his headphones on, so he can't hear. But we're gonna go out like this. Yeah, this is a little bit something. I don't know if all of you know this song.
It's your theme song.
Yeah, it's the theme. There it is. Akita, you know anything about this, bro? G Wright, what's up? Thanks for being with us today. Keith says, let's go. That was earlier. And I'll put it up now. Let's go. We're going out like this. That's how we're going out. Da-da.
Must have went insane when you was in college for this, y'all.
Yeah.
About the same time over there.
Da-da-da. That one up there. Woo. All right, we going out, y'all. We going out. We're going out. See y'all next week. Same time, same place. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. God bless.